Archers, attack! Keep firing! Let none escape! Another down! Do not relent!
Welcome to another episode of Do Not Relent, the podcast where we don't take anything seriously, except when it comes to World of Warcraft. We'll be talking about the game, its strategies, and the occasional drama that comes with it. Now let's get started on our journey through Azeroth, for the only thing that matters is winning, no matter the cost. I'm Slidewhistle.
I am Immunization.
I'm very sad that you did not read all of our robots' finely crafted words. You did omit a sentence in the middle there.
Yeah, I didn't really like that. So if you're looking for a good laugh, but also want to learn something, you've come to the right place. I feel like by that point, people are like, what the fuck is going on? For some reason, our chat and our Discord can now do fucking chat AI bullshit. So I made it work for us.
But very, very limited. We apparently only get 10 prompts, and we have already burnt 7 of them.
Sure did make a lot of stinkers, that's for sure.
Yeah, so that intro brought to you by our Discord bot, Me6, and read to you by our own Slidewhistle. And you can join our Discord at donotrelent.com.
Cheap pop.
Did we say the rest of our names? I'm Aaron, Fireman Extraordinaire and Horde Punching Bag, if I didn't already.
I don't know if you did. That's crazy. I was like, oh my god, did he not say it? Did he break the spell?
Yeah, I don't know. Me6 is, I guess, our actual third host now. I mean, we always did say that Aaron was actually, an AI anyways, so...
Well, if I was truly Me6, I would have brought more heat than he was bringing to some of these.
When are we gonna get a growl AI-na?
Boo. Boo that I hate that was clever.
Do you guys like free hats?
Free hat? He ain't done nothing wrong. The law been holding him for no reason. Free hat.
If you're a fan of free hats, that's fucking coming your way. When Trial of Style returns March 20th through March 24th, if you participate, you, listener, will be rewarded with a free hat. It's one of the little pirate bicorn hats. So don't forget to do that shit.
I mean, so is this one of the ones that you can buy with Trial of Style tokens next to the trading post currently?
Pretty sure. No, I don't know. Why would they put included on there? I guess if you wanted it early, you could pay for it. Did you already pay for this hat?
Let it be known, yes. If it's the brand new tricorn hat, the pirate hat that we couldn't get back in BFA, I have purchased it, so that promotion is dead to me.
It's a bicorn hat, not a tricorn hat. So.
Whoa, no way! 2?
What bi does mean 2. That's.
I was gonna say, Aaron, are you trying to subscribe to some bi-corn erasure?
Fuck you.
I just don't trust them. Pick one of your corns and go with that one. I'm saying, you wear your corn to the front, to the back, to the side. I don't care, but just make sure it only goes one direction. Like my favorite band of British boys.
Honestly, RIP eternally.
I feel like they're really hyping up Trial of Style. Is this the 5th or 6th, Trial of Style March 20th announcement we've gotten from, Wowhead and World of Warcraft themselves?
Yeah, I mean, maybe they're gonna, pull out all the stunts. Maybe we'll get a full-ass runway. Maybe our runways on this runway will be longer than the, 5 seconds that Marsha got on this last week of Drag Race.
MTV is a criminal. Also, my cat's on my desk, and he's making everything shake around. Get off my desk, fatty!
Aw, that's no way to talk to him. Let my man be. But speaking of things that you can check out in the Trial of Style, a whole bunch of cosmetics are from holidays and such are just being mainlined. That's big news, which is cool because a lot of cool suits and dresses are okay. However, I'm mad that some of that goofy stuff isn't around. I want to have a pumpkin head.
So basically what you're saying is, I believe, when is this happening? Is this happening in 10.0.7 or when is this?
I believe it's in right now. It's in right now as we speak.
Yes.
It's been in for a couple days.
It says a recent hotfix has performed this. And I did see people with the Love in the Air dress, but just kidding. That event is happening right now, so that statement means nothing.
I wonder if this means that, like, are we able to T-Mog into just our Best Bakers gear that we used to have in our bags for when we used to host it in the subways of Stormwind?
You bet your ass it does. Noble Garden outfits included are the white tuxedo shirt, the black tuxedo pants, the elegant dress, the spring robes, the black tuxedo pants, and the other elegant dress. So 100% we can do that.
Honestly, great change. I'm all for, like, the inclusion of, like, casual cosmetics being able to be mogged, and it's weird. For the first time, like last week or something like that, I was able to like actually have a gray item drop off of like some mob that I was able to just like equip and then like have it in my mog log, and like some of these gray pieces look good, especially like the newer ones in the later expansions. Like they look just as nice as some of the other like main sets.
Yeah, I've been meaning, like, I want to go like on a collecting spree, and I maybe even receive some, but my auto loot is still on, so I don't have it set to fucking filter out like gear. Is that an option I can do, or do I have to like change it, or?
I have no idea because I don't have that one, but I feel like there should be. That's an add-on that's been around for forever. Although I guess the notion of you actually keeping white and gray items is very new, so maybe they're still working on it in the lab.
Yeah, I honestly don't know the answer to that. I probably need to just like go into my auto looter settings to see if I can exclude like armor. That should be an option at least. I don't know that it is though.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm sure it'll be updated soon to like, filter that out. It's really interesting though, some of the things that we're allowed to have versus what we're not allowed to have. So like for Hollow's End, you can have all the fun witches hats, like the hats of the first sister, second sister, third sister, and hat of the youngest sister, just 4 different colored witches hats. I have the third sister hat, and it looks fucking dope, and I can wear it whenever I want. But the pumpkin heads aren't here. And, like, I guess I kind of get it. You want the pumpkin heads to be, like, Halloween adjacent. Like, the Santa hat also isn't here, right? But the Brewfest, the Brewfest goggles are all here, but you can't wear, like, the beer hat, or you can't wear, like, the sausage hat.
Or you can't wear the lederhosen, which it's technically a holiday outfit, but like barely. That's just normal clothes.
It's weird.
Yeah, I wonder what their reasoning is between like which ones like they are like, yes, this one in, this one not in.
I'm just perusing this now, and I'm a little upset. Not that it's like a major thing. Love is in the air. You can wear all of the finery, all the dresses, but a rose being in your hair that's too much.
In your mouth.
Well, in your mouth is one thing, but even like on top of your head, tucked behind your ear, that's not allowed. That seems a lot less intrusive than some of the other things they've included.
Yeah, like the article says, it's like, oh, like we can see why you wouldn't want to wear the red winter hat, but why wouldn't some of these things? It's just like the bunny ears from Noble Garden. There's some weird like restrictions on like the summer fire festival clothes. I don't know. They're probably being cautious because they're like, well, we don't want our old people to freak out about the changes, so we're gonna do a slow change trickle. Maybe eventually we'll get it all the time. Who knows? I hope so.
Yeah, like there's nothing. Even if they're like, well, the rational person wouldn't want to wear a pumpkin head in the summer. It's like, you've given it to me. Gimme. Like, not to be an entitled little dude, but it's like, who cares if I wear things out of season?
Yeah, it's like I can wear my Reaper Overwatch skin that has a pumpkin head on it whenever the fuck I want. Why can't I do the same thing in Wowzers?
Immune, did you hear? They're actually getting rid of that.
It would not surprise me. I mean,
yeah.
We were just complaining on Discord like yesterday about how Blizzard has like it has to be like a heist on their part to get people to like buy the battle pass or something. Like how they're disguising in the new season's battle pass these things that are called credits, but they in the battle pass are showing as yellow, which like outside of the battle pass, yellow ones of that same like look are coins, and coins are what you can use to buy the battle pass or other like new cosmetics, and credits are only for old things and you can't use them towards the battle pass. It's very confusing, and I feel like it's on purpose.
It wouldn't surprise me. It also wouldn't surprise me if they just were like, let's just import the old asset from Overwatch 1. And then they're like, isn't that pretty similar looking to the one from Overwatch 2? And they're like, fuck it, who cares? And now here we are with this.
As Johnny Gioli of Crush 40 once sang over the Shadow the Hedgehog credits, it's just 2 steps forward and 1 step back.
I think Paula Abdul said that too, right?
Yeah, but she didn't sing over the credits of Shadow the Hedgehog, so I'm going to give this one to Johnny Gioli of Crush 40.
You know who else said it, though? Aaron Last Name on the hit WoW podcast, Another Pod, Do Not Relent.
I would never steal words from Johnny. He looks like he does drugs. He would beat me up. He'd find me.
I don't have a reference for what this man looks like, but he sounds pretty scary. I mean, if you're doing the music for Shadow the Hedgehog, you have to look scary, right?
Imagine a man who's 52 years old and his biggest thing he's done is he's the guy from the Sonic the Hedgehog butt rock band.
Okay, but he could walk into any like anime con and get like hella laid, right? Who wouldn't want to be with Johnny Gioli?
I don't know about hella laid, but he walked into Yumicon one time and I was like, "It's Johnny Gioli!" I almost shit my pants.
See?
And then he went home, and then I just met the guy who makes Sonic music. And I was like, hello, and then he doesn't speak English, so I was like, goodbye.
Oh, you're not Johnny Gioli. That's what you should have said. You're not Johnny Gioli. Speaking of Johnny Gioli, okay, so the trading post apparently was broken for people. Now, for me, it was absolutely fine. I got all my tendies and then some. Were you guys able to get your mount successfully, or are you still in the line waiting for it?
No, that's the thing. I have yet to go back because they did tell me today, like, something's waiting in Stormwind. But I earned my Tiger guy, like, probably 2-3 days, like, after it came in last week. But it would refuse to give it to me.
Yeah, so I actually haven't gone back to try to claim it, but I did want to say that, like, I feel like reaching the 1,000 whatever points we needed to get the mount, like, or supposedly, I found it really easy. I did nothing out of the ordinary from what I would normally do. I, like, ran a few keys, and we did raid, and then that was apparently enough, I guess? I don't know. I did a few world quests, maybe? I don't know. But no, I haven't gone back to Stormwind since the first day. I haven't opened the chest to get my additional attendees, and I have not claimed the mount yet. So I guess after recording, I will go check. Although, yeah, I've heard that, like, for a lot of people, it's just, like, busted, and they are unable to claim this mount.
It's a really cool mount, guys. I've been riding it around. I got mine. It's pretty dope. It's weird to say this, but I think it's almost too easy to get the attendees, right? Like, isn't that weird to say?
I mean, I don't know.
I'll say, how dare you? People should be able to get things. Okay, the crowd dispersed. Yeah, like, it doesn't feel like the whole thing is like, we'll give you a month to solve this thing, to fix it, and it's like, I already did it. So why do I need to keep doing challenges?
Right. No, exactly. So, like, I mean, I get it. Like, we have greedy MMO brains, right? Like, we want to, like, finish the thing for a reason. But there's a lot of things in the Tendy thing, but I'm just like, I could do this, but why would I? I mean, it's probably there because obviously that not everybody raids, right? So for us, it's pretty easy. We just kill bosses and you get stuff. But like, I just feel like I hit it so quickly, and I was like, I wasn't even trying that hard. I wasn't trying at all.
Yeah, honestly, I forgot about it, and I just opened my journal and saw, like, oh, I did it. When did that even happen?
But I don't get. I mean, it's taking so long to fix, right? Like, people are still having problems, and I guess it's kind of a bad look to have this, like, hey, everybody, the thing you've been waiting for that we've been advertising doesn't work yet.
I mean, it's awful. Like, is it bad? I'm not even surprised. Blizzard, in, like, the last year, has not implemented a thing successfully. Like, they'll get to it, I guess, but every single new thing has been just a major slip up every time.
Yeah, you're right. And it's things that, like, they hype up for a while too, and I'm like, I don't know when did let's check the clocks here. When did they officially announce that the trading post was going to be a thing?
Was it a couple months ago? Am I overshooting this estimate?
Yeah, I want to say, like, around the time that Dragonflight actually released. So let's say, like, December. So it's only been 2 months, but it's not a huge thing that needs, like, that much tuning. IMHO.
Yeah, it's like we don't know we obviously don't know the inner workings of whatever their code in spaghetti is, but I don't know. Like, I feel like that should be one of the first things that you ensure is able to be rewarded, like the end cap reward,
If there's anything that Blizzard's previous blunders have shown, it's maybe just try logging in on a Chinese server, because that worked when Overwatch was fucky for like a week.
We can't do that anymore.
I don't know.
It's not an option anymore. All the Chinese servers are closed down.
They knew. Ian said, we had major egg on our face after that one. So shut down the Chinese server so they can't do a workaround again.
It'd be so sad.
Someone's drag racing over there.
Yeah, I got a new mic position, so it's actually facing the window, which means great for car noises driving by.
Ooh, boy. I'm excited for the summer season.
Yeah, I know.
We just have bugs screaming in your window.
I have to get this some insulation in here. Also, part of the reason why the trading post might be broken is maybe the employees might just be being overworked, because we are getting so much news for 10.0.7. And like it's been like a nonstop faucet of information coming out. I'm not even gonna like talk about any of that stuff right now because it's just there's too much of it to go through. We have our own shit to go through.
But you're right. Like WoW, like us WoW players, we're eating real good right now in Dragonflight. Like this isn't just recency bias, right? Like I feel like in both Shadowlands and BFA, like when we are cognizant of these things, like just the sheer amount of like class tuning and changes. Like I feel like we've gotten like buffs, minor nerfs, tweaks like almost every other week since the expansion's been out. I'm like, that's unheard of. And then like just constant news about like what the upcoming minor patches are gonna have even. And I just feel like they're putting a lot of work and effort into like the daily and weekly like tuning on overall like quality of life fixes for us players, and I feel like that's great to see.
So I actually don't think it's just us. I think it's everybody saying this. Now, I didn't include this in the notes that I did this time, but because I find it kind of boring. But they had their Q4 financial results, Blizzard, blah, 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 King, blah, 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 that stuff. But for the Blizzard section, I just pulled it up real quick. Gaining 14 million monthly annual users, Blizzard reported its highest quarterly net bookings to date.
Whoa, wait, to date as in the history of Blizzard?
Yes.
Question mark?
This says to date.
Wow.
So that's gotta be what that means, right? 45 million monthly active users, up from 31 million in Q3.
So that has to correspond with Dragonflight mainly, right? Because like it says Blizzard, so that does not include like Activision, so like that's not COD related.
Overwatch isn't bringing in extra people. I did not see a huge push into Season 2 of Overwatch versus Season 1.
Yeah, because like it wouldn't include Overwatch because like the main like Overwatch 2, because like there were a lot of people at the beginning of Overwatch 2, but this quarter would not have included the launch of Overwatch 2, right? I don't think.
I love hearing you guys talk about it when I have the answers right in front of me.
Well.
And now Immune can't just look at my screen and get the answer himself. We have changed our computers set up, so now it's very. I can't see his face. This is very odd. But okay. So in the Warcraft franchise, World of Warcraft delivered significant year-over-year growth in reach, engagement, and boring talk. While early Dragonflight sales have not reached the level of the prior expansion, Shadowlands, community feedback on the title has been positive. There are announced plans to follow up on content, which we're obviously seeing. Overwatch 2 delivered the highest quarterly figures for player numbers and hours played in Overwatch history.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Shut the front door! What the fuck? This just goes to show I don't know. Literally no one who likes Overwatch apparently talks about Overwatch, because all I'm seeing are the doo-doo heads on Twitter and like the donkeys of the world where it's like, what a disgusting delivery. Like I will burn this company to the ground.
Well, you know what it is? And I feel like Overwatch 2 is like very much so catered to like new players. Like basically every change that they make is like just a spit in the face of like veteran players that have been with them since the beginning. And they just know that we're just going to continue playing anyways because we
Yeah, there's nowhere to go.
Yeah,
what are you going to do? TF2?
I mean, really what I think it is I think It's just echo chambers, right? Like, people on the internet who communicate on Twitter about Overwatch, like, think about the amount of times you've communicated about Overwatch on Twitter in a serious matter, but think about times you've seen it communicated seriously. People are just echoing off each other, and they don't see, like, it's the casual guy who just, like, logs on to Overwatch for 4 hours a night and buys all the skins because he wants to. Like, those people exist, obviously. They have to, right?
Yeah, but that's just crazy to hear. So, like, that growth is mainly Overwatch people?
Well, I don't know if it's mainly, because, like, I mean, just because it's the highest quarterly figures to play numbers and hours played in Overwatch doesn't mean it was, like, breaking, like, crazy it could have been like $1 more. You know what I mean? But it seems like it was these two combined. I mean, Dragonflight, we see how good it is. I guess Diablo Immortal was also contributed to the growth, which that's also crazy because who's playing Diablo Immortal?
I forgot I even had it for a time. I was looking at my streaming VOD channel and I saw I had a video on it and I was like, really? I did not remember playing it. I'm Kiki Palmer. I don't know this man.
Now, remember the numbers. 45 million monthly active users for Blizzard Entertainment. Activision had 111 million monthly users. Call of Duty, obviously. How many did King have? How many did Candy Crush get? What do you guys think? How many millions?
2 billion.
I would at least, like, probably, like, all of that combined and then double it, maybe. Every mother has, like, probably 5 accounts.
The King sales are actually down from Q3.
I really don't know what they're bringing other than Candy Crush. I'm sure King has other games, but I don't talk to enough moms to tell me.
That's it was 240 million in Q3. Now it's 233 million. And yes, it is still just Candy Crush. Candy Crush Saga, the largest title in the Candy Crush franchise, there's more, celebrated its 10-year anniversary in November. In-game net bookings for the title grew approximately 20% year over year for every quarter. What the guys?
I guess as our world ages, more people have children, they become moms. And once you're a mom, you're just kind of signed up for a Candy Crush subscription. So maybe that makes sense.
All right, sorry if you don't like boring financial things. As a compensation, Immune will now tell a joke.
Well, I didn't really have a joke, but, like, when you're talking about King, it made me think of, like, Jerry the King Lawler, and I hope he's okay.
Wow, that was definitely not a joke.
Have you seen his wrestling career? He's a
No,
joke
he had
to
a stroke.
me.
He had a stroke.
John Tron-looking ass motherfucker.
He had a really bad stroke.
No.
He had a really bad stroke. Keep this in. You fucked up. He's gonna give you a fucking fist to the face now. Look what you did.
He'll have to catch me if I'm not at his hospital. He can't really get me now, can he?
Okay, so I wasn't planning on talking about this on the podcast, but Jerry the King Lawler was on Raw 30th Anniversary XXX recently. 2 weeks ago, and I watched it and I turned to Immune and I said, I just got a really bad feeling about Jerry the King Lawler. Like, I think he'll be dead in a week. And I'm not saying I want him to. I'm just saying he something about him just is giving me a he's in danger vibe. 2 weeks later, he has a stroke, and he's just now he's able to regain his ability to talk. Should I sell my services somewhere? Am I a side chick?
A side chick?
I like that you just point at old people and be like, I don't know. Like, you are clearly picking on a group where they could go at any moment.
Any hospitals want to hire me to walk around and just like sniff the patients. Maybe I have something.
Like the cat of death from like the 80s.
Yeah.
Ooh.
All right, sorry. Back to WoW stuff. Let's bring it back to WoW. What are we doing? There's more soup changes. I don't know how they're making more soup changes, but we got more of them coming our way. Or they're already in, actually.
I mean, like, good. These changes that happened, like, this week at Reset were pretty good. I feel like the main one is that, like, they cut the time in between soups in half, I guess. It's like an hour and a half now in between soups.
I definitely did not know that soups used to be 3.5 hours. I'm gonna raise my hands on this one. I thought it happened once a day, and you just had to be very lucky to catch soup.
No, I mean, like, basically, though, because think about it. Every 3.5 hours, like, it's going to be on. It's happening at some odd hours. You can't possibly catch them all. I was trying my best. I tried setting alarms. This change is so fucking good. And now you can... Apparently there's random fish parts that just laying around the camp. You can throw them into the pot. They don't give you any rep, but they do count towards completing your 5 tasks. So if Big Canuck is broken and not giving you anything, go find some fish heads laying around.
You know, that is what I'm doing most of the time when I'm there anyways. I'm just like saying like, is that a fish head? No. This is even before I was added. You know, I'm just looking around for fish heads.
The real badge of honor will be, you know how like sometimes there are like mob of enemies that will come and charge the soup pot and you got to defend it and kill them and they drop those like stakes.
Yes.
Those stakes now give you, they now count towards one of your progress bars for the weekly soup thing. There's going to be a mad fight over those fucking Hydra stakes.
Bitch, there already is.
I never get them. Yeah, I always go to click on them, and then like 8 guys are already fighting over it, and I was like, I guess I can just wait until Big Canuck asks me to sniff the soup.
I always just stand where I think they're gonna spawn, and I'm usually spot on about it, but I'm wrong sometimes. But it's become a real skill to catch it as they fall out of the sky. How's the siren sound? How clear is that?
It sounds great. You know, this program always prides itself on being able to hear traffic outside your window, but now we've reached a new level.
Chicago.
Speaking of sirens, there it is in the distance. It's the Growl on the Prowl siren. Wow, wow, wow.
Well, looky who it is. Why, it's the DNR listeners, and you're smack dab in the middle of Growl on the Prowl. I'm here today with Gloony, a kooky cat who said she refuses to transform back into a night elf. What prompted this life decision?
Well, it's a little cringe, but I just like RPing that I'm a cat. Being a druid is cool, but Gloony is a cat through and through.
I always love a good bit of RP. I used to moonlight as a druid with a similar concept. Her name was Trilini, and she was in tree form all the time. LOL.
Why are you talking about Trilini? I'm the star today, okay?
Oh, shit. I'm sorry, I was just making a connection there.
I'm the famous one, okay? I'm on your show. I'm going to need you to focus and ask questions about me.
That's more than fair. My apologies. So, would you ever consider becoming a tree?
No.
Well, that was really my one question. Answered, signed, and delivered. See you all again soon on Growl on the Prowl.
Thanks, Growl. I have $25 and I'm going to spend it on my favorite DLC.
Well, I'm sure you're not talking about the upcoming Splatoon DLC because that shit sounds like it's worth approximately $5.
Hey, the the salesmen in the city are pretty cool, but I want to pay $250 for them to look a little different.
We fucking did it. Raid was successful. I was getting a little nervous. I mean, I wasn't surprised. Diurna is not an easy fight, especially for...
Well, it was pitched as being the easy fight as opposed to Dathia, but I guess I don't know. Dathia was quicker, but Diurna, it was like weirdly tough. I didn't know why it was tough, but it certainly was.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about this. I want to like look it up to see how many wipes we had on each of them and compare, but like I feel like we got our shit together pretty quickly on like our second night on Dathia, but I feel like our prog on Diurna was like very gradual. Like it was consistent but very gradual, and I feel like almost like a straight line, but like Dathia like exponentially got there, if that makes sense.
I feel like a lot of it, thinking about it, I don't know if we had more pulls on Diurna than at Dathia, but we definitely spent more time in Diurna's room. I think we spent like fucking like 35 minutes talking about strategies at one point, and I'm like, yo, we just gotta pull it. Like, we just gotta pull. They were talking about like moving the eggs and moving. I'm like, no one's ever shortened it before. Why are we trying to shorten it again?
And also, like, the main strategy that they ended up talking about for like 20 minutes, they ended up realizing that we weren't even able to do. But yeah, we got her down. I'm really proud of us for that. It felt really satisfying.
Did either of you get anything? Like, I know it's about the prog and it's about the group. Did y'all get anything out of that? Because I got a big goose
No,
egg.
Diurna doesn't have anything for me anymore. I killed Diurna like 5 weeks ago. So like I've just been getting her stuff like through the vault basically. So no. But what about you? Me and Jeannie? Was there anything even available for your hunter on her?
I got like war trauma from having to be like an egg runner. I just want to say like shout out to all the egg runners over there. Like I'm in the melee group, which is the boss target group, because I feel like I'm more useful as a BM hunter just single targeting the boss than like we have a lot of good AoE people, like better AoE than a BM hunter would be, you know?
It was so funny. So like as we're starting the night, I turned to Immune and I was like, wouldn't it be just funny if we like if 2 staffs dropped? For like, because we have 3 evokers in our group. I already have my staff, my heroic staff. So Myth and Nuss needed their staffs. We killed Diurna and 2 fucking evoker staffs drop. Am I a side chick?
I think so. You're a side duck.
Also fucking Nuss. Okay, so Nuss sometimes like struggles a little bit to figure out like how to play a class or how to do it. We have been in the hyperbolic time chamber, me and Nuss, and I've been showing him like how to punch Majin Buu and how to breathe fire on him and which way to go. My man is fucking doing it. He was like 5th or 6th on the charts. I don't think there's been anything higher than like 9 or 10 most years.
I am very proud of him. I thought he walked out of the hyperbolic time chamber and all he could do was Super Duper Saiyan, where your muscles get really big and then Cell makes fun of you for being slow. But he was actually doing Super Saiyan 2.
I was gonna say, I think like he's quickly approaching the like playground rumor of SS5.
I am a little bit afraid that he's becoming a monster, not in his DPS, but in his whispers. So now he whispers me all the time, which he always did anyway. But now it's about like evoker and DPS stuff, and he would be like, I was sucking on that pull. And I'm like, Nuss, we pulled for a minute. Like it was a minute pull and then we all died. Like that doesn't count.
Oh no, now that he's getting coaching, anything less than what he deems good is like, God, I really should just log off forever, huh?
Well,
it's like no, it's okay. You don't have to beast it all the time, guy.
And then like for a couple of pulls, I did too much damage at the beginning because I kept getting like essence burst crits, and I pulled aggro off of some mobs, and a dragon bit me like 30 seconds into the fight, and I die immediately. I didn't get B-res. It's fine. I didn't care. I got time to walk around and not look down in his room. Nuss, after that pull, after they wiped, whispered me and said, "Did you die that pull? Because I beat you in damage." And I'm like, Nuss, I died 30 seconds into the fight. Yes, you beat me in damage.
Oh no. He's becoming a fame monster.
Yes, exactly.
Now it's time we beat him down again. I'm currently drafting a message to Lynn saying, Lynn, you're always obnoxious, but it's time to turn it up.
He was messaging me about like Myth. He was like, hey, I beat Myth on that pull. And I was like, oh man, don't tell Myth that. I didn't tell him that, but I was like, chill, Nuss, chill. But the staffs are out. I'm glad. Now all we have to do is get our last hunter their weapon, and we've done it.
You mean our only hunter? But yeah, I don't know. Like sneak peek into my bottom boot. I've been working very hard to like try to get this bow, and it's just like by far BIS for the BM hunter because its attack speed increases all of our pets, and I have like my 2 main pets, and then however many dire beasts happen to be out there at the time, which is a lot. Like, it's so annoying. Like, this bow has not dropped. I've, like, in every instance, whether I'm on my hunter or my priest, it's not dropped when I've killed Razageth on LFR or normal or heroic. Like, no bow has dropped besides the very first time that we killed Razageth in our guild.
It's so bullshit. Like, The only way. I think the only way is what I said. I think the only way is to get 2 sparks, make a bow, make it max level with a 418 essence or whatever, and then it'll drop. You have used all your resources, but you will have the bow.
Like, the thing is, like, I have 1 spark in my bag right now, so I would need to farm out a second one somehow. But, like, I almost feel like I would rather use that spark to, like, craft a 418 piece somewhere else that you're able to make for me, you know?
Yeah, that's true. But what level is your bow right now, though?
It's like 411 or 413 or something like that.
Oh, then yeah, I can see. But I'm telling you, you just have to. Man, that's a really hard 411. That sucks. That's like, you're right. It's not worth it to make a bow at 418. Man,
Because it's ridiculous.
And it's like 1 number higher than Chicago's, or no, where were they from? Seattle's chillest band. Like 411? Ugh. 311? Amber is the color of my energy. Sorry, I don't have much stake in this conversation, so I just had to jump in for that one.
I was trying to think of the band. What's the band that did Kane's theme song in 2006? Is that 411? But isn't there also a 311?
No, 311 is the band. 411 is the level of bow that Immunization needs to craft, but, like, what's the point, really?
I think, isn't 411 a band that did Kane's theme song?
Are you thinking Finger 11?
Finger 11. That's what I'm thinking of.
It is, in fact, Finger 11.
I
yes.
loved Finger 11.
Shadows never run shadows.
Are they the one that has that song, like, Paralyzed? It's like, I'm
Yes.
paralyzed. Struck by
You right through me on my way to you.
That's the one. I love that one. That's what I was trying to
Ooh,
sing.
I'm lightheaded. They're in my new metal playlist, and I'm always like, Spotify. They are not new metal.
Yeah, they're almost fucking classic rock by this point. Which is crazy to think about.
At what point does, like, our concept of butt rock actually become classic rock? Are we that
Right
old yet?
now, Joey Galazzuli, you are now classic rock. What's his name? Johnny Ferrelli,
Johnny Gioli.
Johnny Gioli, and Johnny Stamboli. That's a wrestler from the FBI.
He was real sweaty on the Sonic the Hedgehog 30th anniversary symphony stream. It was like, hey, call it from my house. And I was just like, were you in a sauna, friend?
Oh shit, that fucking reminds me. Speaking of sweaty Johnny Giolis, the world content, they have updated the eye level of gear that drops. Outdoor activities have generally, that's a weird thing, had their item levels increased by 6 to 7 item levels. This includes world quests, elite world quests, and first weekly completion of hunts, Dragonbane Keep, and community super events. For your mains, probably not so good. For your alts, oh, that's cash money, honey.
Which I am very invested in because Growlina, she's old, cold, and so very full of mold. Just kidding, I still play on her a bunch. But Booty HEW's on her way up. She's 67, and she's almost there to do Mythic Zeros, because that's all I feel comfortable tanking right now.
Hey, if you want to do them, hey, wait. Oh, fuck. I'm raiding today. Oh, I was like, do you want to do those? Because I haven't done them on any character yet.
Ha ha ha, no, you fucking fool. We'll just have to do it sometime this weekend. Tee-hee, tiddly-dee.
No, definitely. Because my hunter Achilles, or as fucking Heavy calls it, what does he call him? Achilles.
Excuse me, Ackles?
He calls him Achilles. Achilles. Dude, my dude got a fucking full normal vault. He got like a mythic. Was it a 13? This dude's like, he was like 356. He's not ready for 13s. But survival's fun. I was really, really like jiving with it. Like it's a fun melee class.
Yeah, there are a few dungeons, like, it wasn't on the 13, but I think on, like, an 11 that we ran before it, like, I was on my hunter, you were on your hunter, I ran it as survival just because, like, why the fuck not? It's completely different than it was in Shadowlands, but, like, I still like it. I feel like it's kind of slept on. It also just got buffed with all the other hunter specs. less focus on bombs, and like the rotation literally just feels like spamming mongoose strike. I'm like, okay, cool. I like a 1-button class.
Yeah, you say that, and I wasn't even doing that. Like, it's funny because like you beat me in damage. Like, I wasn't that far behind, but then Brio was like, these are two totally different damage profiles because you just had like a fuck ton of mongoose bites, which is just pressing 1 a bunch of times, and I had like poison strike, bomb. And I'm like, how did I fuck that up so bad that we did 2 different things completely? But like, really, I think people are just like probably pissed or down on it because it's not how it was in Shadowlands, you know?
Well, yeah, because in Shadowlands it was like bonkers broken to the point where I was throwing by not being it.
That's why I'm bringing a survival hunter to our next raid. Papastine, he's coming up.
I think we're gonna have to merge groups soon with the other raid group, which I mean I'm totally fine with doing, but like they are kind of falling apart.
Oh no.
Okay, so I've been playing. I was playing Dark and Darker before raid. It's this fun demo. I get it on Steam. It's free. You will love it. If you don't love it, don't fucking tell me because I don't want to hear about it. And then I checked Discord to see like, okay, it's almost raid time. Like it was literally like 8:40 and I was playing it, and I check. And I see that the other raid group in Discord, they were all in Discord, and there was only 8 of them. And I'm like, why is there only 8 of them in there? And then I look at the chats, and they literally are like, where's everybody at? This is weird. Good night, I guess. And like, they just did not have the bodies to do a raid group. So I'm like, fuck, like we're going to have to consolidate and be a 30-man raid group because they haven't even killed Dathia yet, I don't think, right?
No, they were on Dathia, I believe, all of their first night of raid this week, and they didn't have enough people to field a team on the second night of raid.
Yeesharoo, which, like, you hate to see it, but also it does make sense. I know people are like, 6 p.m., that's, like, distinctly nighttime, but it still feels a little early to, like, include all time zones.
I'm like, do I, like, bring an alt to their raid? Like, I mean, like, I feel bad that they're not able to like get anything done, and like especially if people just ghost them. Like, yeah, like they did kind of rub it in our faces a little bit when they were beating us. Which who cares? Like literally, this does not matter. You know what I mean? Like we're all gonna get the loot eventually.
I care that they were talking that big shit in Shadowlands, and here they are. They're so poisonous that people don't want to show up anymore. I do get to do a Macklemore Presents victory lap on that one.
But like we are gonna have to consolidate. There's no either we consolidate or have to start recruiting. But like nobody's told me to do any recruiting, so I'm not gonna do it unprompted if I don't have to. But I'm probably gonna start doing it anyway. But yeah, anyway, Love Rocket. People have been asking about this shit.
Hey! Shut the fuck
shit, you're right.
up. You fucking, you Twitter troll. Do you mean the HX60,
the what?
the HX68 Heartbreaker? I don't think that's its designation, but yes, it has been changed, sir, so it's not a penis
You're
joke.
close. It's the X45 Heartbreaker mount.
I feel like they could have just literally, they should have named it something easier to like remember if you're trying to replace it. Call it the Heartbreak Rocket.
The Heartbreaker.
I feel like the addition of like a military code in front is so penis deflating that way you can do that, and people they're like, okay, this isn't a joke anymore. There's nothing less funny than like HP93. It's like, oh, shut the fuck up.
Wait, we're naming it after Hewlett-Packard printers now?
This is the HP 465 Heartbreaker printer. Ink not included.
Of course the ink isn't included. That shit's too expensive.
Printers are a scam. Okay, so they have buffed the drop rate for the first clear each day. So what that means in this blue text is... We've heard your feedback on the frustrations with X45 Heartbreaker's low drop rate, and feeling the pressure of having to farm them out by cycling through as many alts as possible every day. By the way, if that's you fucking made that choice. Lay in your fucking bed, you dirty little stinker. Who cares? From now on, the first heart-shaped box you receive each day across your Battle.net account will have a greatly increased chance to contain the X45 Heartbreaker mount. I don't think they've said the percentage numbers, but it's better chance to get it for all you people that feel like you have to do it.
God, fucking the original one was like what, 0.001? Like not even a 1% chance to get it?
It was 003, but you're pretty close.
It's rough. I don't know. And the worst part is, do I want the mount just for fun? Yeah, I'd love to have it. When I look at the Heartbreaker, am I like, what a neat mount? No, personally. But it's like, well, I'll keep trying, especially because you only have 2 weeks to do it, which we're already 3 days into that. So it's like, what a fun thing. At least it's a quick queue every time. So I show up, I do 2 minutes of content, I get sad, and then I leave. I shoot off my 6 fireworks that I get and go, wow.
You spray your perfume on yourself before you go?
But like, what's funny is the rockets that drop for like the end of the dungeon, I'm pretty sure they're still called love rockets.
There are indeed still love rockets in the game.
When it's a gray item, you can get away with a Peter's joke. my man Alex A said, come on, you gotta keep it in there. But the mount that everyone talks about on the boards, gotta keep that one clean. Which, once again, I don't super care, but I appreciate them getting rid of some sex jokes. I don't want to go back and people will be like, Aaron was such a lib in episode 132. Here he is showing his true colors in 217.
Bring back Paris Hilton's large, gigantic sack. That's all we need.
I'm tired of the fruit pictures. I want to see some poorly drawn, that's rude, poorly drawn boobies again.
Give me the 5-pixel booby paintings.
Ooh.
And while we're at it, bring back the mods to give gnomes huge badonkadonks again.
Oh, we didn't even mention how the only reason we killed Keeper Diurna, back to raid again, was because Jamunky put on her corgi goggles. Ugh.
Yeah, like the funny thing is, right before our last pull, Jamunky's like, oh, guys, don't worry, I got this. This is the one. I have put on my corgi goggles. This is all we needed. And she was right. You know, the fourth host of the podcast here knew exactly. She called her shot. We got it. You know, we just needed to be corgis in her eyes.
God, I would have paid cash monies for her to just, even on Discord, just stream that poll. I would have loved to see what it looked like during that.
Honestly, that has to be like hard to like process.
I mean, for a healer, I guess you just click on raid frames, but like if you weren't clicking on raid frames and you had to like target an individual guy, like who's who? There's only so many corgi models. I just want to let everyone know the only thing I've consumed today were 3 bagels at 10 a.m. So I'm in a rough way.
Yeah. You know what? I'm kind of in the same boat. I've only eaten 2, what are they called, immune?
Well, we've been going to the Asian market in our neighborhood, and we've been getting shou pao, which Slide has been getting like chicken and pork ones, which they're like, okay, so they're the things like in Pokemon where Brock is like, I brought some jelly donuts, like that, you know, they aren't actually jelly donuts.
I see. They're like, they're onigiri, they're rice balls.
Yeah, they're like rice things, but then they have like meat or some other kind of thing in them. I mean, like the shou pao are like I think they're Chinese based, but like a lot of Filipinos eat them too. Like, so I had a lot of them growing up, and I'm happy to have a version of them that I can eat now that are vegetarian as well.
I've only eaten 2 of them, and it's not even a fucking After Dark week, which if you want to hear our After Dark episode, this is our extra drunk Patreon free-for-alls, you can see that. Listen to that. You're not seeing nothing at patreon.com/do-not-relent.
We don't have physical faces. You can't see what we look like. We're audio only forever, baby.
Which is really funny if you like peel back the curtain a little bit, like because of the aforementioned change in our office space here, Slidewhistle and I cannot see each other, which is really weird. Like normally we like signal to each other like when one of us wants to talk, and it's really disorienting. So like in our pre-production meeting, we toyed with the idea of the 3 of us like on Discord webcamming so we could see each other, and we just thought it was all of us just collectively thought it was so weird. We're like, no, we can't do this.
It's too big of a change. We were not ready for this yet. Sometimes I stand up during recording just to look at him. And I was like, what are you doing?
It's kind of scary, honestly.
No one's ever here when I record. Caitlin's usually at work, and Persephone is Caitlin's cat, so she's not in the room with me right now.
Man, I'm always like, why are you talking about Persephone? Like our raider. And I'm like, oh, you mean your cat? And it always gets me for a split second.
Persephone the cat can't have an increasing number of children because she is spayed, like you should for every animal.
Have you seen the news? That sounds like you just cut it bad. But the way I said it made it sound like it was just like a bad edit, didn't it?
It sounded like Aaron just woke up from like a 5-year coma, and you're like, have you seen what's been happening in the world?
A Persephone?
What have I seen in the news?
Power infusion has now been... You can now filter it out of Warcraft logs, which means maybe, Immune, less people will whisper you about it now.
I mean, I feel like I've been very upfront. Like, whenever somebody whispers me, I whisper them back and say, like, because you asked me, you will never be getting it. And also, even if you didn't ask me, you would never be getting it.
Whew.
Spicy.
People treat it like it's like the end-all be-all of everything in the state of World of Warcraft. I'm like, maybe just be better.
Immune bringing the fire in the last few minutes here. He said maybe get better at the game, though.
I mean, like, legitimately, these people act as if, like, them getting power infusion is any better or worse than anyone else. Slidewhistle and I, in our weekend raid, have been doing a little bit of science. I've been PIing random people, and basically, like, all these people who, like, are, like, I don't know, we're doing Mythic raid, but, like, we aren't, like, Method. We're not, like, we're not even a cutting edge guild. We're not going to get cutting edge. Whatever. I said it. Like, PI isn't going to affect them the way that, like, the Sims say that PI would affect their class, if you know what I mean here. Like, I'm going to give it to who I know can properly execute a PI window when they call for it because they're sitting right next to me.
The only thing that The Sims tells me is if I get in a pool and I can't immediately see a ladder, I am going to die. I lack the conviction to just climb out of the pool like I'm in 4th grade. Mostly because I don't want my shorts to fall down and people to see my lily white butt crack.
Sims has taught me, basically, if all of a sudden I'm in my living room and all the doors and windows disappear and a fireworks set appears in the middle of the room and I feel the urge to set it off, I probably shouldn't.
Hey, delete all the doors. We're dying today.
But I also would do the, like, put all of my Sims that I want to die in the middle of a pool and delete the ladder thing because I was a sadistic child, apparently.
Oh, yeah, I would take all the doors away. Also, I think a lot of people ask you for PI because they don't know that we're, like, a couple. So, like...
Why are you gay?
They're like, why are you giving it to him? And first of all, I'm like, first of all, on your PR charts, Evoker is the second option behind Unholy Decay. So if you're truly assessing your data, I should be pretty high on your list.
I'm just imagining you guys being in like a super epic gamer guy guild. And it's like,
Oh, you're always giving it to buy. What are you, gay?
it's like, yeah.
You are gay.
They're like, oh no! What have I done?
Yeah, I mean, I guess if anything, it's far less egregious now. Because like I was doing this shit when like Feral Druid was like literally the second to worst PI target according to all the lists, and I was like, fight me, I don't care.
Okay, that bump felt nice though. But also, like, it's so much easier when I can just be like, all right, my 2-minute cooldown's up, Convoke's ready, are you good, do you got it, send it, you know what I mean? Like, and now I have an actual 2-minute cooldown, so I can be like, do you have a PI? And you're like, yup, and I'm like, oh, let's rip it and grip it, baby. But now I think it's time for our top 2, bottom boot, medium mute. Immune, kick us off, because we already have an idea what yours is.
Yeah, so as I mentioned earlier, my bottom boot this week is about the Razageth bow. And in particular,
A lot of thought behind that one.
I had to turn around because like everything is confusing now. Like normally my board is directly to my left and now it's behind me, so I had to turn around to like see the exact thing that I needed to remember. Anyways, in particular, it is because I realized this week, because of a conversation that I had with dupes on our Discord, which you can join by going to donotRelent.com, I have been fucking up, and I've been missing out on opportunities for the Razageth bow to appear in my vault. And what I'm talking about is, normally, like, we've been clearing, like, 6 heroic bosses, so, like, all of my raid slots have been heroic. And because we haven't killed heroic Razageth, that means that there's 0 chance of the heroic Razageth bow dropping in my vault. So we did a skip this week, so it's not an issue. But like, if we didn't do the skip and we did a full reclear, I was gonna prepare to be like, I need to sit out for a boss or 2 to ensure that I can then get a normal slot in my vault that does have a chance of getting the Razageth bow.
And the fact that you have to even consider that is such a stupid thing to do in the first place. Like, and there's no way that that isn't noticed as a design flaw by the team, right? Surely they have hunters on their team that are having the same problem, right? Or are they all just giving themselves the bow free of charge?
I don't fucking know. But I also feel like this is the one item that is labeled as very rare that actually feels very rare. I mean, the rings I feel like drop somewhat frequently. Maybe the council trinket. It's council, right? Or wait, which one's the one that you need a DPS, a healer, and a tank? Is that from Kirog?
It's
That
council.
is from Primal Council, yes.
Oh, that one, at first it felt easy to come by, but then like every DPS got it, and now we just like can't get another one to drop for like a healer or a tank. So it's weird, but I don't know. Basically, it's a bottom boot because it's a huge design flaw. Like, Blizzard should like address this. Like, it's stupid. Like, why do I have to like sit out of raid bosses for something so that I can potentially have a shot at a lower version of it? Because even the fucking LFR Razageth bow sims better than my 411 Mythic Plus bow. Like, okay, so maybe that's a flaw in the design of the bow in general. I don't fucking know.
Why do they always do this to hunters? That's the real question.
Also in our Discord, they were talking about how like it's kind of like the Sylvanas daggers for rogues, like where like into the next expansion, even almost like, well, no, into the next raid tier, people were paying for carries through the last one to get their daggers.
I was using a raid finder, unholy DK scepter. What was that thing called? That staff, the jailer staff, Jathis? No, that's the prison blade. Whatever the jailer staff was, I was using that.
The jailer
for
mace?
LFR. Jailer mace, yeah. I was using that over like hella like higher eye level weapons. And I'm like, what? This is ridiculous. Why am I using this as my weapon still? I've always kind of hated those designs if you can't get it. I don't know.
Yeah, it feels really, really bad for the people that can't obtain them. But yeah, that's my bottom boot for this week. Aaron, what do you got?
Well, I unfortunately also have a bottom boot.
Boo.
Boot.
And this is an issue that has been very prevalent, but I haven't seen a lot of people talking about it. And it's that out of nowhere, and maybe it's been happening a bunch, I just haven't noticed, but out of nowhere to me, Althegar Academy, this damn Quidditch bird, doesn't want to work, ever.
Yeah, all of a sudden, okay, so I have a lot of things to say about this as well. I feel like the progression of bosses that have felt hard in Algathar has changed drastically. First off, I will say, initially, Tree Boss, everyone was like, this is the hardest boss in the entire expansion. Now, people know what they're doing. It feels like the easiest one in that dungeon almost. The Croth, the Quidditch bird, that shit hits hard. Like, I've wiped to that shit.
Hitting hard would be one thing. The thing is, it doesn't come down and start the boss fight.
Oh my god, yes. No, I've had this bug too. Actually, Ahoy and I were pugging, and that happened to us, and like we just had to disband, like, because it was impossible. Like, it just didn't the bird didn't come down, yeah.
It's one of the things you need to do this week. And 3 times on Growlina and 1 time on Booty ATW, I ran into this thing where for whatever reason, months later, the bird is not coming down. And yeah, 1 time we managed to all leave the instance, wait a bit, and it just happened to come back when we came back. But 3 of those 4 times, I just had to call it quits. And as a DPS, I had to wait for another random dungeon, which takes forever. I don't know why this is happening now, as opposed to like all the other times I ran it months prior. But it's doo-doo stinko. I don't like it.
Yeah, apparently this has been a bug that's been in since the beginning of Dragonflight, but I feel like, I don't know, I feel like it's been more pronounced recently because it happened to me this week as well.
I don't know. It's just it takes forever to get into random dungeons as a DPS period. I hate that this bird just doesn't decide to play Quidditch, and I have to wait another 45 minutes.
Also, you can't have it be the first boss. It's
Yeah.
at the very earliest the second boss, so you have to go through something else just to find out that it's not going to work.
I feel like I've rated
Smish.
too much that like I couldn't like walk you through any of the mechanics. Like Krogthar, is that what it's called? Kragatha?
The bird?
Croth.
I just noticed as Quidditch bird.
Croth is the name of the bird. Like, people are always like, take the orbs to the thing, and I'm like, yeah, but like, which one? And like, when do I do it? Like, I don't know.
Allegedly, we're supposed to do it to fire, because I think fire is easier to dodge than wind. But then I'm like, well, why even present wind as an option? I don't know.
Like, I like the dungeons enough, but I feel like with like the wrong affixes, like it could just feel like total hell, like absolute hell. And maybe that's on me for not doing my research into the things. But I never had to choose to do research. Normally, someone would just tell me every time.
Oh, so Slide is blaming the group.
Well, now I'm going to tell you to do something. Give me your TTBBMM, Slide.
Oh, I got a big fat throbbing top toot, a TTT, if you will. Well, no, that's triple top toot. It's a TTT. I hit Exalted with the Artisans Consortium. Those little fucking fuckers, those little nasty fuckers that give you like the littlest chance to do it. The contracts got me there, and all the work orders and whatever. I did it. And for being exalted with them, I had to spend 200 of my own metal, to get 10 leatherworking points, which is a fuck ton. I've never had so many points in my hands at one time that I was like, oh my god, what do I do with this? Now I can make hella decayed shoes. I've been out here grinding. I've been sitting at that fucking altar of decay, making every evoker, hunter, and shaman all the feat they could dream of. And if you are in US Proudmoore and you want me to make you sexy shoes, send a work order to buy. That's BYE. Only US Proudmoore customers.
God, you had to sneak that one in there, didn't you?
It's nice. Though I will say, not a bottom boot, but the fucking tabard sucks ass. It's gotta be one of the worst tabards I've ever seen in my life. And that's fine.
I don't know. I appreciate the camp of it. The fact that it's just the little table and the hammers. Sometimes you get people where it's a little esoteric. It's like, it's various shades of blue twisting in a circle. And I was like, what does this mean? I appreciate a good tabard that's just like, this is the table you go to do the quest.
Like, I get it. Like, yeah, it is kind of campy. But they could have made it, like, a better campy. What if it was just one big work order hammer with, like, beautiful sparkles around it? Now, there's probably already a single hammer tabard that exists out there, but none that are, like, doing, like, the hammering motion, right? They're all, like, upside-down hammers, I think.
I believe Ironforge is.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what I was going to say. When he first described it to me, as two hammers, I was like, oh, does it look like the Ironforge one? And then he sent me a picture. I was like, ooh, no, it doesn't. The Ironforge one looks distinctly a lot better.
Yeah, well, either way, I did it. I bought all my little recipes, all my little cooking stuff, and that's cool. 10 points is a lot of fucking points in this dry-ass world for professions. I feel like points are just so hard to scrounge up these days. But I did it, and I'm satisfied.
Speaking of scrounging up points, we've scrounged up a little extra dollars via our Patreon, and we want to thank the people that gave them to us. They include Command Sergeant Major Tazurla, fourth host of the Podcaster Monkey, Ahoy Vince, Instinct/Drag Race, Azarin, Digital Dave, Mitch, who wants to remind everyone that Rathion isn't daddy, he's a literal child, Crucifix, Cardicay, Saracen Hawk, Satius, and Soup. Adorno says, okay, February, babies, Baby Gersh, Myth Gersh, Big Bear 13, Hoax, asking Growlina to say, for the Horde, Muv, Adam N., Ickis, Vanderlyle, Generational Talent, Smurf, the Base God, Slidewhistle says,
Fuck Craig.
and Will, a.k.a. Tire, Trade Chat's fallen father.
With that, we're out of here. If you have any comments, questions, complaints, send it to us at donotrelenttpod@gmail.com or to my personal email, which is navarracoffin@gmail.com. I will say I did receive a rather perplexing email about a young man lying about his sister becoming a doctor to get out of going to work, but I responded.
Well, you can find me, Alex, or Immunization, on Twitter at New Era Alex, or you could follow our podcast Instagram account on the gram at Do Not Relent.
You can find me, Aaron the Human, at TheBigAcheesy on Twitter.com. Read the show's literary musings at DoNotRelent.LiveJournal.com. And catch me playing Videograms on Twitch at twitch.tv/AaronDNR.
Breaking news at the end of this podcast here. House Rep George Santos was charged with theft in 2017 for stealing puppies from an Amish dog mill.
It's so sad that nothing will ever stick to this little round goofball. But the fact that we keep getting more and more juicy goss is great.
How are there continually more and more strange stories about this queer?
For the record, we're gay, so we can say that word. It was bounced checks he bought these puppies with. I should have let him go to hell, the attorney said, who was aiding him. Anyway, with that,
Oh no, I just wanted to clarify that I said queer as a slur against him in particular because fuck him.
hey, you can say that. That's
Okay,
right.
so the last thing I will say before I wrap it up here, does he kind of look like Ross, the guy from Drag Race's like evil brother?
No.
No, this is a Ross family household. We stan Ross Matthews, so that is
Well, exactly.
slander here.
This is Lost Matthews. This is his evil brother.
I think you're just hearing Santos and Matthews, and then you're like, oh, wait a minute. Because Ross Matthews would kill this guy in a fight.
I think I just kind of see puffy gay guys and connect the dots.
Cut that out. Well, that's the end of the episode. And you know what that means.
Another down. Do not relent.
Do Not Relent is a podcast within the 3HNC network, representing U.S. Proudmoore's premier podcasts.
That was a very good wish.
Hey everyone, welcome to the bonus bit at the end of the episode. Aaron here, editing at 7:40 a.m. We promised dupes from the Do Not Relent Discord. He said that we jokingly have the ears of the Blizzard devs, so they wanted some quality of life stuff. They then proceeded to list a lot of stuff, but we're men of our word, and we don't want to let a community member down, so here are the 37 theses of dupes. Gear learnable by all armor classes. Seems like
Align
they
in
can
that
toggle
any
flashback
all
option
gear
for max
quest
level
gear
gear
appearance
appearance
is
learnable
learnable
by
by
all armor
learnable
classes.
by all.
The need to accomplish all lower difficulties. Account wide reputation for all
It's a bad
expansion.
luck
currency tied to each mount with
More
a
quiver
defined end.
transmogs.
For instance, account-wide holiday mount chart.
bring
Each
back the
time
Legion fishing
you
pole
run an
artifacts as
instance,
an
once you
equipable
accrue
weapon.
X
Is it an
number
item?
of shards, you can trade
Dark
them
Moon
in for
Fair
the
open
mount,
year-round.
pet,
Call
toy,
it
gear
Dark
item,
Moon
52
Land and
attempts
exchange
equating
for armor
to
to
a year's worth of attempts
similar
compared to
starting
to
to
weapons
weapons
104 attempts
describes
reputation.
You
You
still
still
have
have
RNG
RNG
drive
eventually
eventually
rewards for all that
traded to
time
blacksmith
effort
leather
expanded.
workers,
Ghost
tailors,
time trial
the
mode
crafting
for
classes
dragon
that can
racing.
learn
Upright
recipes
model
to
for the
apply dice
Forsaken.
to their
Their items
items,
solo
rewards,
mode
challenge
simply
gameplay, proving
have
ground
dice
scenarios, invasions,
usable
horrific visions,
by
forecast,
all
dragon
players,
riding, irrespective of the
best
profession.
execution of this.
Previous
Players
legacy
expansions,
indoor
mountain
mountain
quest,
legacy
account-wide
mode
banking,
only,
gold,
bring back
silver,
talent
instant
set
choice
choice
for
final
hunter
raid
bosses,
bosses,
bring back
usage
group
of
over
travel,
I don't mind the legendary
of
clearing
clearing
to
to
become
become
attuned,
attuned,
but after
flight
that,
whistles,
there's
there's
body
body
dimension
zones.
sliders, height, width,
Will allow you to set
maybe
a
this is a
specific point
nightmare
in the map,
map,
go
down
down
on any toys. Effect-wide hunter pets,
back to two difficult,
bring back range, remove
survival
heroic or
hunters,
normal,
remove
lower
currency
heirloom,
inflation,
upgrade
might need to
costs,
nix the
cloaks
WoW
to
token.
cover shoulders,
We're nearing the point where some vendor items are just silly.
bring back archaeology,
Scrapbots,
huge
gold,
dragon
copper
for
sparks,
silver
and
are
other
other
expansion regions.
and finally freezing system for vaults, similar to the trading post. There it was, everyone. Never say we don't do anything for you. Oh, bye.